Hello, everyone. Welcome to another edition of Chalk Talk here on DK Pittsburgh Sports. Steelers, Buccaneers, preseason, Saturday night. Steelers lost by 3. Results don't matter in the preseason, so who cares? This one, I want to get into one play in particular because it's one that stood out to me immediately watching it live and confirmed with both the quarterback and the receiver what this play was. It was as I suspected watching it live, and so I want to break it down, the meaning of it for a couple of reasons. The offensive coordinator, the receiver. It's pretty important stuff for the Steelers, for specifically for 2025 as opposed to 2024. So the play that the Steelers are running here, Skylar Thompson at quarterback, he moves Connor Hayward over in motion. So the Steelers are now in a 2-by-2 even formation, condensed formation. 12 personnel. You got 2 tight ends. You got 1 running back and then 2 receivers. This is Scotty Miller here at the top, Ramon Wilson down here. So what the Steelers are running here is a variation of the Shanahan play-action concept named Burner. And what happens here is that the first read is right up here with Scotty Miller. And what he's going to do is he's going to run a very, very deep pylon route. Typically, this comes with an inside stem like this and then breaks to the outside like that. It doesn't always have to. But usually, as long as you have inside leverage on this corner that's covering you, that's all that really matters. Now, other details also matter here. If the defense is in cover 4, which the Buccaneers are here, if you run at this defender and then break to the outside, you capture this defender if they're playing match. The other thing you also want to do is make sure that if this corner doesn't see you as a deep threat for his zone, you want to make sure that he doesn't just pass you off and then he stays down low. That's really, really what you don't want more than anything. So while Scotty Miller is running this deep post, Ramon Wilson is going to run this deep crosser that goes right here. Okay? That's all this is. 2 routes. Now, the purpose of this deep route is to clear for this crosser running underneath. And this is off of play action. So what play action will do is it'll bring these linebackers up. Okay? And then if this linebacker is going to be the one who drops out, but he can't get too deep because they have to honor the showing the handoff at first. So those linebackers creep up, which opens up everything behind them. And what this route is going to do right here is it's going to hopefully clear out this defender deep and this defender deep and maybe even this defender if he drops further back, which he does. With this starting off with looking like it's going to be a deep route and then converting to a high cross, and if these guys are in zone and they're dropping back, you get this first and then you can run across, and this is when you really need to use your speed. And Ramon Wilson, coming out of college, had some pretty decent speed, right? I think it was 4.39 if I'm not mistaken. Either way, he can run. So here we get the play action fake. Linebackers step up. So now you have that exactly what you want to have. You have these second level linebackers coming up near the line of scrimmage. I mean, the deepest they are is about 2 yards away from where the line of scrimmage was. The ball's on the 19. And the furthest any guy is back is not even at the 22-yard line, this guy right here. Meanwhile, all 4 of these guys are just dropping back. And with Scotty Miller running this, obviously, both of those guys right here have to honor what Scotty's doing. And Roman does a good job of not bending this lazily too far. It's really running straight at this guy. And what this corner has to do is he has to honor any ability for Ramon Wilson to run an out or to run a pylon or a corner, whatever you want to call it, or to just run an inside stem and then run a go. Either way, this corner has to honor what he's doing. It can't just jump up on him Because if he does, and Roman were to break that out, like, again, you want to always make sure that you want to force the receiver to where you have help. You don't want to ever jump too far inside just in case this guy does break out, because if he does, then there's nobody out there to help you. This is also why it's important to not tip your hand and let the defense know what's coming. So as Roman's running this straight out, this defender has to almost match him because he could just be running straight in that direction. So both of these guys are not knowing exactly what Roman's doing. Then Roman just cuts it across. Why these two defenders keep running, I have no idea. But even if they were to have broken in on Roman, because of the way he breaks this off and uses his speed, he's wide open. Now, I'd like Thompson to throw this a little earlier. Maybe he gets to his back foot there, and that's fine. But then rip it. Don't do this kind of little hitch and then throw. Because what you'd love to be able to do is for him to catch this and then catch and then be able to turn upfield. That's what you'd really, really love. And by the time Roman actually catches it, he's already almost at the sideline, and he doesn't have enough grass to be able to turn upfield, really keep your balance and turn upfield. But great concept here. This is pulled straight out of the Kyle Shanahan offense. Even whenever I brought it up with Skylar after the game, I was just saying, hey, that play, the crosser to Roman, that looked like burner to me, and he kind of did almost a double take, wow, you know what burner is, and he goes, yeah, that's not what Art calls it, but yeah, it's the old burner it's a variation of the old burner from the Shanahan offense. And I think I don't remember this exactly, but he may have even said the old Shanahan offense. So this has been around for a while. This is not a new concept. But it's also, again, this is executed to perfection. The defense, it's also terrible defense. I don't know why you need four guys back here covering one guy. But this does exactly what you want it to do. You get the deep route to clear for the high cross. Technically, the first read is this guy right here. It is Scotty Miller. This is your second read. Wow, that's a terrible two. This is your second read. And then if both of those are covered up, this is your check down right here. This guy right here, you just check it down. If those defenders both crashed in on Roman, it's not open. Skylar Thompson just checks this down. You live to fight another down. And this is first down, too, so you definitely just live to fight another down. Why this is important. Number one, for Arthur Smith, this is the kind of stuff that he had been running in Tennessee and Atlanta. He didn't get to run much of it last year. Not saying he didn't. There were some of it. And even some successful plays. There was one in particular, it might have been against the Jets or the Giants. It was one of those two games in which Calvin Austin was the guy running that high cross, and he was wide open, and Russell Wilson hit him. Didn't get a lot of that, though. Didn't run a lot of the play action stuff that attacked the middle. And this isn't the only type of play action that can attack the middle of the field. Drift is a really, really popular one. I think Sean McVay calls that one strike. Either way, it's another one. It's another play action concept that attacks middle of the field. You get all kinds of digs and all kinds of different concepts that you can do to attack the middle of the field. And Arthur Smith didn't get to do a lot of that last year because, well, he didn't have a quarterback that was number one with Russell Wilson that didn't want to throw to the middle of the field, or Justin Fields wasn't trusted to consistently throw to the middle of the field. So he didn't have the quarterback to be able to do that after he had Ryan Tannehill who was able to do it. And even though the quarterback play in Atlanta wasn't that great, they still did a good amount of it. So this is the kind of stuff that Arthur Smith wants to do off play action, not just this bootleg to the outside and there's 3-level read and everything. It gets old, it gets stale after a while. Yes, that can be a good way to run play action, sure, especially when you're running a wide zone scheme. You get teams to bite on the wide zone, you boot to the other side, and other guys open up, and you get some easy completions that way. But that can't be your only way of running play action. And last year, that was really the only way the Steelers were able to consistently run play action. This is the kind of stuff Arthur Smith wants to do more consistently. Not all the time. Of course, like I said, you have to mix and match or just mix it up. But this is something that Arthur wants to do more of. And I bet we will see this concept quite a bit in the regular season, along with other ones. There are all kinds of high cross concepts from the old Shanahan offense. One of them is the burners with the pylon route. Another one's called Rage, where you run. You're faking like you're going to do the pylon route, and then you end up running a post. There are all kinds. There's Rider, which is a go route that stems to the inside. There are all kinds of variations of ways to get this high cross to open up. And Arthur Smith likes to do all this stuff. The second part of this is with number 10, Roman Wilson. Roman Wilson's this is a guy they invested a third-round draft pick in. He seems to be forgotten way too often, and now he's not being forgotten because he played 4 snaps last year, didn't get any targets. His entire rookie season gone because of injury, and he's coming in year 2, and they're expecting a year 2 jump. And this is the kind of stuff that Roman did really well at Michigan. Running these high crossers, being able to do stuff where he doesn't have to try to win against press coverage. If he can have this stuff where he can, just be able to use his speed and get open. Now, granted, this is also being schemed open. This is not necessarily, hey, Roman Wilson won here. But you can get this guy the ball in space. He can get there, and then he can possibly make some things happen after the catch too. You have to have these concepts, and this is where some of the stuff that Arthur Smith wants to do matches up with the strengths of a guy like Roman Wilson. So it's good to see this. It's encouraging to see this stuff, and I wonder if we're going to see more of it. I believe we will. But it doesn't surprise me that this plays in the playbook. Again, preseason, the portion of the playbook that they bring into a preseason game is very, very, very small. They are not going in with a game plan. They're not going in to tip their hand on a lot of the stuff they really want to save for the regular season. But it's not surprising that we saw this stuff in preseason. Again, Arthur Smith wants to do more of this stuff where you can attack middle of the field and play action. And it's good stuff. Really, really good stuff here. So anyway, that's it for this one. We'll continue to break down this game against the Buccaneers for the next couple of days. But then they get a quick turnaround. Thursday night in Carolina, they wrap up the preseason then. So we'll do 2 more Chalk Talks based off of the Buccaneers game. And then we'll do another one. So we'll do 3. One day of the preseason game. So we'll do 3 more Chalk Talks here on this Buccaneers game. And then it'll be right on to Carolina and seeing how that game goes. So anyway, thank you for tuning in for this one. Catch you guys next time. See you later.